Peace and blessings, glory, glory to the eternal, forever living God. Bless the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to eternity, for his power is amazing, for his grace we need, for his favor is unlike unto anything on the earth. Now, on tonight's show, family, we're going to be looking at scientists that actually believe in God. We're gonna be looking at scientists that don't deny God. And you got to remember, 30 to 50% of all people who are scientists believe in a higher power. They believe in spirituality. So don't think that all scientists, just because they do science, that they don't believe in God. It's a lot of scientists throughout all the years. And the more they study science, the more they see God in his working. The more they study science, they started understanding God. You know what I'm saying? The more they study science brought them closer to God. So tonight we're going to look at scientists that believe in God. We're going to look at scientists that don't question a higher power. And we're going to look at scientists that was driven to believe in God by their own studies. So hang in there with your brother tonight. Okay, we got our first candidate for tonight. Okay, do you believe in God? Go, 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 go.
You know, as an astronomer and a Christian, I frequently get asked the question, if God was wanting to create a home for human beings, why all these useless stars and galaxies? I mean, the universe seems to be really enormous. And what I've been sharing with them is that make the universe.
Okay, let me stop him right now. God said that there's all types of people on all different types of planets. So when people sit up there and they look for the stars and they say, "Oh, are we the only ones we're the only ones in all of creation?" God already told us he made many different Earth-like planets. Scientists has proven that. You know what I'm saying? And on these planets are all different type of mankind. What do you mean, Jehoshaphat? It might be a planet full of Mexicans. I'm just saying it might be a planet full of Asian looking type people. It might be a planet full with white people. There is no other people, or maybe it's just like our place. But God said that he made other earths, and on those earths are other people. So I don't know why everybody think that we're alone.
The tiniest bit smaller than what we observe, then the first few minutes after the cosmic creation event, so little helium will be fused from the primordial hydrogen that future stars, when they begin to ignite their nuclear furnaces, will be unable to make any elements heavier than helium. It would make passing a chemistry class easy, because all you got is in the periodic table is 2 elements. But there's no way you're going to get life. You got to have that carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen, and lots of other heavy elements. On the other hand, make the universe the tiniest bit more massive than what we observe in the first few minutes after the cosmic creation event. So much helium is fused from the primordial hydrogen that the future stars very quickly convert that hydrogen and helium into elements that are as heavy as iron or heavier. In both cases, you'll wind up with a universe with no carbon, no oxygen, no nitrogen, no phosphorus, and no possibility of life. So the mass of the universe has to be exquisitely fine-tuned in order for life to exist. It also must be exquisitely fine-tuned to get the galaxies and the stars that make life possible. There is a being out there fine-tuning, intervening.
This guy shows up on the scene and does something remarkable.
So he basically said that this world is too perfect for light. The elements of life in all the creations, everything is set up too perfectly for life to exist, for God not to exist. And I can't really rebuttal anything that he says. All I can tell you is what scientists said. Scientists said if you move this earth 1 inch away from the sun, that it would freeze. Scientists said if you move this inch more closer to the sun, then it would burn up. And in both cases, there would be no life. So why is it life on this planet? The more you study science, the more God is revealed. The more you study science is the more you see the hand of God and how creation came to form. Let's get some more scientists up in here, because you can see he said this world is too perfect If it was just made any other way, that life would never exist in any galaxy. Anywhere in all of the known universes, there would be no type of light. He said it has to be a master planner behind it. But let's get some more scientists up in here. And remember, tonight on tonight's show, we looking at why scientists believe in God.
Cells are very complex. They're made up of thousands of different parts. All of those parts have to be there for the cell to function. And then, of course, when you're talking multicellularity, now we're even more complex, but we're just talking single cell.
I was reminded the other day that our bodies, I think, have roughly 70 trillion cells in them.
And it all starts from in your mother's womb. You're so tiny no one can even see you. And then that develops into 70 trillion cells and all the specialized systems we have, like God's design.
Our God is incredible.
Incredible. Cells are very complex.
So what did they say? You know what I'm saying? What did they say in our design, our human body? What did they say? It has to be a master planner. It has to be a God. You know what I'm saying? It has to be. You got all these people running around talking about it ain't no God, it ain't no God. The Holy Bible ain't real. But you got the smartest people in the world saying that God is undeniable in the science that we study each and every day. We come closer to believing in God and we believe God. Then you got the regular people that really don't know nothing and they just listen to whatever people saying and they just run with it. Oh, they said there ain't no God. Oh, it must not be no God. No, there is a God. By you living right now shows me that there is a God. But by you, remember, you're the miracle, you're the blessing. Just by you living and breathing and being in your life shows me that there is a God. But let's continue.
If you want the ball, listen, literally, this is the truth. If you want the ball to go up, you got to hit down. If you want the ball to go down, you got to hit up. If you want the ball to go left, you got to hit it right. If you want the ball to go right, you got to hit it left. It's a game of opposites. And this is why the logical mind struggles to play the game, is because most people cannot do the opposite of the result they imagined. So instead of doing what the design calls for, we just keep on trying to do it the way we want to do it, hoping that the results happen. And sometimes you do get a result that makes you think you're right, but sometimes you can accidentally do it right. And when you do something accidentally right, it makes you excited. But here is the problem. Are you ready for the problem? You can't repeat it. So design has to be trusted, because sometimes the thing that God wants you to do is the opposite of how you perceive it. But God says, I want you to know that whether Moses is dead or whether you are inexperienced, my vision for you is valid in the valley. Because the promises that God has for you doesn't rely on your greatness, it relies on his faithfulness. And God says, even when you ain't great, I'm faithful. And so I gotta do what I said I'm gonna do.
I'm sorry, I had to break up and give us an intermission.
God had a dream about your life and wrapped a body around it to fulfill it. You are a walking dream from God. This is incredible. That God dreamed about us, wrote his story of your life in his book before you were ever conceived. And then he wrapped your body in your womb to actually live out that dream. We believe that during this time, God is going to unfold to you the sense of divine destiny and the sacredness of your life.
And you know,
God had a dream about your...
Like I said earlier today, the only time life get hard, okay, we have a destiny. Our whole life is all written out. Every single thing we say, anything that we do, there's nothing by chance. Everything is already written. We couldn't even trick God and do something different that's not written out. He already got us. But the thing is the fact that when you go against your own destiny, life becomes harder. When you're in the flow of your destiny, that's when life is easier. So look at the people who have a rough life. They are going against what they were made for. They are going against their purpose of life, their very existence. This is why their life is so damn hard, because they're not doing what God made them to do. We were all made to do a certain, don't get me wrong, we're supposed to enjoy life. We're supposed to enjoy the fruits of our labor. We're supposed to love on our family members. We're supposed to show brotherly and sisterly love throughout the world. But at the same time, we have a destiny. Places to go, things to see, people to meet. And when we go outside of our destiny, life becomes harder. When we are in the flow of our destiny is the only time that life is smooth. I know a lot of people, they ask this question. They be all like, well, Jehoshaphat, well, I can't see God. So if I can't see God, I can't believe him. Your ass can't see the air, but you need the air every single day. You ain't seen $1 million, but your ass sure want it. What you ain't seen in this lifetime, and they use it like a child, like they got a childlike thinking because they don't grow up spiritually. If you don't learn God, God said you have to learn him. He's not going to hold you by the hand. He's not going to hold your mama accountable, your daddy accountable, the pastor accountable, nobody but you. You're going to be held accountable for not learning God. God said, learn me. If you learn me, you will be blessed. If you don't learn me, you're going to be cursed. But a lot of people ask that they ask childish questions because they never grow up in their faith. So, some things we are not supposed to know. God, he said it himself. He said, when you come up here, I'm going to reveal all the things that was kept back from you. So that let me know that man will never know every single thing. I don't care if you wrote 1 trillion books. I don't care if you had AI from the year 2095. Man will still never know everything. You know what I'm saying? Until we meet him, and he's going to reveal everything unto us. So a lot of the turn off from when people start asking questions, they were never supposed to know that in the beginning. Nobody is supposed to know that until they die and they meet God. Okay, let's go back.
One of the things that drives skepticism about the existence of God is the simple fact that we don't see God. And many non-believers think that since science is about what we see and religion is about what we don't see, that the case for science as the basis of knowledge as opposed to religion is open and shut. But it's not nearly so simple as this, because scientists believe in all kinds of things they can't see. And they do so on the basis of things they can see. We don't see the structure of the DNA molecule. We inferred it from evidence that we could see from a field called X-ray.
And it's a shame. It's a shame. Just like this scientist is saying, the absence of something still reveals the elements of something. Something has to be behind something. An asteroid is pushed through the universe. What is pushing the damn asteroid through the damn universe? Where'd it come from? That's what he's saying. You're saying it had to come from somewhere. You're saying it had to have an origination from something. But the trippiest thing about it is just like the scientist said. The proof of God is all around us in all the elements and all the creations and everything that go on. God said in his word, if you cannot look at the sky and know that I am God and I exist, you will never believe in me. If you look at the birds of the air and you don't know that I created that, you will never believe in me. If you look at the fishes in the sea and look at them and you don't know that I created them, you will never believe in me. So it's a lot of people that will just never believe in God. And he's just like the scientist said, you know what I'm saying? The scientist has proven what God said. If you look at the elements of creation, the things that are around you, the sun, the moon, the stars, the mountains, the sea, the people, the birds, the trees, the sea, the lions, the gazelles, the bears, all of these things. If you can't acknowledge God in that, you will never acknowledge God. What is the scientist saying? The same thing God said.
X-ray crystallography in particular. We don't see subsurface geological faults, but we infer them from the seismic data that we get once we bounce energy into the subsurface of the Earth and catch it coming back. We don't see quarks, we don't see the Big Bang, we don't see other elementary particles. We infer the existence of things we can't see because if those things are true, they help us explain things we can see. And it turns out that the case for God, based on evidence from the natural sciences, is no different. We posit the action of a designing intelligence because we see things in the living world. We posit the activity of intelligence because we see effects in nature, in life, that we know from experience only arise from intelligent agents. So we posit something we can't see to explain things we can see. So just like much of science, our knowledge of God comes inferentially from the things we can see to the things we can't.
There is a being out there fine-tuning.
Okay, we got our next scientist up, and I want you to listen to all the scientists and what they are saying, because for some time they probably didn't even believe in God, and God revealed himself through the science. God is the great revealer. He's going to reveal himself in your own personal life. I don't care what none of these people sitting up here talking about and what they saying. Oh, God ain't this, God ain't that. They were never called by God. You know where they going. You know what I'm saying? They take too much pleasure in they wants in the world, in the flesh that they already wrapped in. They give too much into they drinking, they alcohol, they sex, they abusing people to actually see the hand of God over their life. But even them are called out by God themselves, and they still want to deny him. Now, the reason why I did this show is to show you that even scientists believe in God. And if scientists believe in God, then shouldn't you? Jesus is all we got, family. We ain't got nothing else. It's only one name that a man could be saved on. We only got one thing that's going to save her. And death has been promised to every single man. What do you have to lose? You have everything to gain in believing in God. You have everything to lose because this life ain't over. Even the scientists will sit up there and tell you that the energy that you made out of it is going to transform into another form of energy, and it'll always be around. So just because you die, why do you think that you won't be around? This is the great test. We're going to step into the great unknown, but this is the great test that we in right now. And, you know, God said we'll only live 125 years. To some people, that is not long enough to get it right.
Your body has, 100 trillion cells in it. Open up any cell, and if you were to unravel the double helix of DNA from one cell, it would be 6 feet tall. Embedded in that DNA is a 4-letter chemical alphabet that spells out the precise assembly instructions for every protein out of which you're made. Just like English uses a 26-letter alphabet to spell out words, DNA uses this 4-letter chemical alphabet to spell out how to build you, how to build the proteins that make you. There are more words in one cell in your body than you would find in 200 years of the Sunday New York Times. Wow. Where does that come from? Nature cannot produce information. It can produce patterns. I live in Houston. If I go down to Galveston and the beach and the sand is wet from overnight and there's ripple marks in the sand, it would be logical for me to say the waves made those ripple marks in the sand because nature can make patterns. But if I'm walking down the beach and in the wet sand I see John Loves Mary with a heart around it and an arrow through it, I wouldn't say, oh, the waves made that. Why? Because that's information. And without an exception, whenever we see information, whether it's a painting on a cave wall, whether it's a computer code, whether it's a novel, whenever we see information, there is always an intelligence behind it. Stephen Meyer, with a PhD from Cambridge University on origin of life, interviewed him for my book, Is God Real? And he looks at every alternative explanation. None of them hold water. The only explanation is there must be a creator who, in a sense, signed every cell in our body. He left behind instructions, written instructions, 4-letter chemical alphabet on how to build you. And I think you take those 3 areas of science together, cosmology, physics, biochemistry, they make a really strong case.
Sir, thank you for coming to the show tonight. You see what he said? He said there's no way. He said that nature can make patterns, but it's no way in hell that nature can make information. It's too much information involved in our DNA, the components to make us who and what we are. Don't nothing happen by chance. Nothing. Everything has a plan behind it. So how can people just sit up here and say, oh, you know, we just, you know, it was one cell organism and then split into a 2-cell organism. Then it turned into a fish, and then the fish got feet, and then the fish crawled out the sea, Jehoshaphat, and then the fish got up in the trees, and then it became a monkey, Jehoshaphat, and then the monkey jumped down, then it turned into a person. All this stuff, nothing in this world happen by chance. Every single thing that you see, every single thing that you do in your life is a choice.
People in the world no longer believe that God created. They think we've all evolved from lower forms of life.
I used to believe that. Now I can't believe I used to believe that. Because life is so complex, the idea that the complexity of life happened by accident is really absurd.
Or by chance. Or by chance. You know what I'm saying? Nothing happens by chance or by accident.
Did you know that they've studied one cell of a human being, one single cell of a human being now with an electron microscope, and they've come to the conclusion there are more activity and more interworking systems in a single cell of life than New York City at rush hour. How could that ever happen by accident? We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Every Sabbath day we are remembering that we are a creation made in the image of God. A lot of people in the world.
Do you know what's really interesting? God delegated the ruling over the day to the greater light and the ruling over the night to the lesser light. God delegated the production of the land animals to the land. God said to the land, let the land bring forth moving creatures. God delegated to the land that it bring forth every herb and every fruit-yielding seed whose seed is in itself. God delegated to the land to do that. God could have done it himself. He said, no, I made this thing. I'm going to let this thing do this thing. And God delegated to the sea the manufacturing of the birds and the fish. God could have made the birds and the fish, but he didn't. He gave that to the water. Do you know what's really interesting? God delegated the ruling over the day to the greater light and the ruling over the night to the lesser light.
Atheists are going to tell me it all happened by chance. Nobody designed it. If I was God, I would make all kinds of creatures like this just so your religion would look dumber and dumber. The more you honestly look at it, you say, this could not have evolved. It could not have evolved. It had to be designed. But you want so badly for there not to be a God, because that means you might be the boss. You don't want a boss. You want to be the boss, don't you? That's the problem. Okay.
That's what's wrong with mankind. Mankind think that his technology is going to save them. Mankind think that his money is going to save them. Mankind think that his health medicine is going to save them. Ain't nothing going to save man but God. The only how a human man or a woman can be fulfilled in life is to let God in their life, because they was made to please God. This is why so many different people are empty. This is why so many people don't have nobody to turn to, and they don't know what the hell they doing in life, because they don't understand, and they refuse that. They don't like the fact that they was made in God's image. They don't like the fact that they was made for a purpose, to serve God. They do not want to serve God. So for the rest of their life, they'll be empty. They'll be longing. They'll have an empty void inside of them that they could fill with anything in this life, and they'll never be satisfied. God said your ears will never be satisfied. Your mouth won't be satisfied. Your eyes won't be satisfied ever unless you got God in your life. That's why they get all the best of the things in the world and they still not satisfied, because they were made for a purpose. Their purpose is to serve God. They don't want to serve God because they want to be God. They want to be in control like God. They want to control other people like God. They want to control other people's lives like if that they were a God, wishing and wanting for people to praise them. Man wants to be a God. That's why man is going to fall every single time unless he repents and get down on his knees and acknowledge the ever living God. Now, I'm almost done here. But once more again, the only reason why I made this video to show you that it is smart people in the world that has the most smartest degrees, and they still believe in God, and can't nobody tell them otherwise. So why don't you?
Everyone, and I want to emphasize that, doesn't matter who you are, what language you speak, what's your cultural background, what color your skin, none of those things are important to God. God made people very, very diverse, and we praise him for that. But everyone who accepts the gospel, we can be assured they will never, ever experience the wrath of God. So biblically, we know that the rapture happens before the wrath of God. Everyone.
The earth is groaning for you to do and to be the thing that God has purpose, designed you to be. Like God was mindful of you when he created you. You have an assignment. If you don't do nothing else, get to moving in your purpose. The time is now. We don't have all the time that we think we have. Life is moving fast, and if you don't do nothing, get to moving in your assignment, the purpose, the call that God called you to. The time is now, beloved. Don't wait another day. Go now.